people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer Diamond and I live a whole food, plant exclusive, SOFAs free, gluten free lifestyle for health and well-being. And today I thought I would bring you along while I make a recipe of carrot, zucchini, and potato patties. This recipe I got out of this book by Anthony Williams, The Medical Medium, and it's called Cleanse to Heal. I've been doing a lot of recipes out of here, and this one looked really yummy. It calls for 2 potatoes, which I'm gonna show you that I've already cooked with. But before we get started with the potatoes, there's carrots and zucchini, which is part of the recipe name. I wanna talk about my zucchini. And the recipe calls for 1 zucchini, actually. And I have this half a one, or I have this gigantic one from the farmer's market. So I think I'm gonna finish this one and add half of this one. And there are different ways that we can, prepare the zucchini. The recipe calls for it to be grated. And so I could simply take a grater and just, grate it. If this is what you have, you can simply just grate it. And that does pretty well. Look at that. That's pretty quick. Or if you have a lot, or you just want to use a food processor, I thought we could try that too. So I have my food processor here just to show you how quick it is, but I can never open it when it's backwards to me. So let me just turn it, and there we go. Mine has the inside smaller one, but I would just use the larger one. And I've got this contraption here. These are amazing, all kinds of different blades. And so I think I'm gonna go with this blade, which is similar. It's the grating blade. And this one has 2 measurements. Depending on which one is up is what will become. So I'm gonna put the larger one up. And I'm gonna grab a knife just because I'm gonna keep this little button piece off. Does it matter? No, but on the bigger one, I'm gonna top off, and then I'm gonna cut as much as I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna save this for another recipe, and this is pretty big still, and I'm gonna use this and consider this as 1 zucchini. And you saw already how well we did. It would have been fine to continue on here, but just for fun, I thought, well, I'll show you how it works if you haven't seen it yet. And what's so great about this food processor that I really love is the open mouth. I mean, you can fit a lot in there. A lot of them come with a smaller size like this, and it makes it a little more difficult because you have to chop it smaller. But I'm gonna go ahead and place these in kind of standing up and see if I can get that to work. And why I'm hesitant is because this piece here has to be pushed down a certain amount for the power. So let me push the on button and see if it works. There you go. It certainly did. And so now you know there are simple and simpler ways to shred your zucchini. The recipe, I'm going to turn this off and unplug it. Okay. There we go. So if you can see, sometimes it doesn't get every little piece. And so I'm just gonna cut this up because I'm not gonna waste it. Let me see if you can just see me just chop it. And you know what? Frankly, if you had neither of these pieces of equipment, you didn't have any of them, you could cut it up. But the idea is to have it shredded. So I'm gonna take all of the shreds out, and what we need to do is squeeze out all the water. Zucchini is a really great vegetable that has a lot of water in it. But in this case, if we didn't squeeze out the water, then the baking time would have to be longer because it'll take that much time to get more of the liquid out. So I am gonna grab 2 more items. Whenever I think I'm prepared, I realize I forgot this or that, and that's okay. So we've got a bowl to squeeze in, and then I'm gonna show you the 2 choices of bags that I have that we'll use, that we could use to drain out the liquid. So let me move this out of the way. So I have a nut bag that has been really well used because I used to make a lot of almond milk, and I used to squeeze it and get out. I've also used this when I make homemade broths, and this is really great. It's a nut bag, and you can't see through it the same way that you can with this one. And this is actually a painter's bag, really inexpensive. You can get this at a hardware store for probably a pack of 2 for just a couple of dollars. So, and of course, again, if you don't have either of these, grab a clean dish towel, wrap it, put all this in the dish towel, grab it and squeeze it, and that's it, because that's basically what we're gonna do. So I'm kind of wondering which one would be the best way to go. So let's try them both. So I'm gonna put some of the zucchini in the painter's bag. I should get my little favorite scraper out. What would I do without my scraper? Ta-da! All right, so we're gonna just get every little guy out of there, and let's see which bag works better. So I'm gonna literally, wow, squeeze out the liquid. Okay, and let's put some in here, and whichever one seems to work better, we'll fill the rest up with. And I have just a little bit because the other one had a little bit. I'm gonna just twist it up, and wow, either one works. Look at that. Okay, well, so I guess because they both work, I'll go ahead and use the painter's bag just so you guys can see, because you can see through it better. And let's go ahead and get the rest of this in here. Just set my knife aside. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post new videos or go on live. I'd love to hear from you. If you would like to, chat with me, leave a comment in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button. I'd love to have you help me spread the word and grow my channel so that others who might be looking for support and help in understanding the way that I eat can find help this way. So thank you. Okay, so I've got everything there, and here we go. So I'm just gonna squeeze this best that I can. This is really good exercise. Who said you can't build muscles in the kitchen? I don't know if anyone actually ever said that. And here, what am I thinking of while I'm squeezing this? I'm thinking, what could I use this liquid for? Because I just don't like to waste anything. But I'm thinking I could use it, I could freeze it and throw it in a broth when I'm making broth. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save the liquid. I'll use it. But we're gonna use this bowl for something else. So I'm gonna set the liquid aside. We don't need that for this recipe. Maybe even rinse this bowl out a little bit. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and add the zucchini to our bowl. And I probably should use the bigger bowl, but that's okay. And it's still a little wet, but that's okay. Most of it, you saw how much we got out of there. You know what would be interesting? Should we measure the liquid to see how much we got out? Ooh. Let's just for fun. All right, who's guessing how much liquid? Whoa, half a cup. Just under a hair of half a cup. Let's see, what does that say actually? That is, oh my goodness. Yep, just under half a cup. Who knew? All right, enough with that. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and take this bowl. We only really, whoops, ding, we only really need one bowl, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this bowl. And I'm gonna show you that I pre-cooked some carrots and some potatoes. And this, you could use any potatoes. I just happen to have 2 purple and 2 Yukon Gold potatoes and a carrot that I cut up into smaller pieces, mostly just because it could cook easier. And I went ahead and cooked this in the Instant Pot yesterday and had it refrigerated overnight. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grate the carrots. And so I could feed it in here because these are smaller pieces. I think I'll try that. Let's see with the cooked carrot how it does here. I don't know that I've really shredded cooked carrot before. I usually shred raw carrot, but that's what the instructions say. So let's give it a try, shall we? Oh yeah, that worked pretty well. And I liked using the smaller one for this. There you go. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna unplug it. And I'm gonna add the carrot into the bowl over here. And I'm gonna add the zucchini to it, and then we're gonna do the potatoes. See, I just learned something new. I learned that even cooked carrots can still shred. Who knew? We do now. Okay, I'm gonna put this back so that we can do the potatoes next. And I'm gonna also go ahead and add our zucchini to this bowl. So we have the carrots and the zucchini, and we just need the potatoes next. So it's calling for 2 potatoes, and we have 4 cooked potatoes, so I think I'm gonna use 1 of each color, just because why not? And let's see how this shreds. I think for this one, I'll go ahead and pop it in there. Maybe I'll just do them both at the same time. I wonder how this will work. I could do it by hand, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a whirl. Nice. And there you have it. And that's it. We have everything ready to go for the most part. Super simple recipe. Now there is a little bit of purple peel that came in, and I'm throwing it in. Wow, look at that. So, let's keep wanting to use my hand, but probably easier to use the spatula. I like it with the purple. What do you think? Gives it a little fun color. Okay. And so what we're gonna do is mix this up and add some seasonings. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the oven on. This recipe is calling for 350 Fahrenheit and 180 Celsius. And okay, so what I have here are the spices. We're using smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and oregano. And it's 1 teaspoon of everything, plopping it in. Boom, bam, boom. Mix. You can mix with a spatula. You can get crazy and use your hands, which I like to do a lot. But we just want it nice and tossed. But you know, this is a base recipe, and I always like to try the recipes how they come and kind of test them, and then I like to change it up by adding things like beans, black beans, or any kind of beans actually. And then if I wanted more spice, maybe I would do red pepper flakes, or if I wanted more of a curry, I could throw in some curry. It's really doesn't matter. You could do whatever you'd like. So it's all mixed up, and now we want to form these into patties. And it says they should be about 8 patties, and put them on a baking sheet and let them cook. So let me grab the baking sheet. I already have my Silpat on here, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a little more room for us. You don't need to use a scooper. I just find it easier because they seem to do better for me if I have a scooper. I'm going to do 2 scoops and kind of play it by ear and see how that works. Just kind of smush them together. And I have 2 of these scoopers. They're wonderful. They're melon ball scoopers. I'll link them in the description below. I've used them in other videos and shared with you. This is the larger of the 2. I don't know what the measurement is of this, but I use them for all kinds of things. Whole food plant-based cookies, melons, and fruit, and black bean patties and burgers and all kinds of stuff, including these carrot, zucchini, and potato patties. So here are our 8 patties, and we still have a little bit more of the filling. So I might just squeeze in some more patties because I'm feeling like the original patties were bigger. That's why they made 8. And I'm gonna make them a little smaller. So maybe we'll get 12. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. And so the original instructions here say to bake for 45 to 60 minutes, but I made them smaller. So I'm gonna cook them for about 25 minutes and check them and see how they're doing. This one is a little bit smaller than the rest, so he might cook sooner, but everything else seems to be looking and feeling good. All right, there we go. Move this out of the way so you can really see. Okay, I'm gonna pop them in the oven. I just heard it go off. All right, so we'll be back when the oven, to check on the oven. Okay, so the timer just went off and the oven is done cooking. So I've just started taking some beautiful greens out to make a salad, and then I love to present these patties on a salad. But for now, let's just move them out of the way and check the patties. Wow, look at these. I think they came out pretty good. Definitely hot. Let's take one off and taste it. Nice. Okay. So I ended up cooking these for 25 minutes, and then I checked on them and they needed a little more time, so I added an additional 20 minutes. So the original recipe said 45 to 60 minutes, and that kind of was the ballpark because my oven runs a little cooler and they were a little smaller. So I think that's a good thing to just check them and, you know, decide how cooked you want them as well. More crispy or a little doughier. Wow, look at this. Oh, so pretty. Okay, let me grab a plate. And we'll put this guy right on there. Whoops. And I always like to get all the little goodies. Wow, that looks beautiful. I might even just put 2 on here. Nice. All right, here we go. You don't even have to cut these. You can just kind of use a fork. I mean, what's there not to like? They're really good. So I think for myself, I would probably maybe just add some beans either on the side or in this. I might also put a little bit of some kind of no salt seasoning, like Benson's Table Tasty, which I really love a lot. Or I might put a little bit of cayenne or something to give it a little bit more. It's very mild, but it's delicious. So, okay, so I ate that patty. It was so good, and I grabbed another one, and I just wanted to show you, you know, how I would plate it as simply as just adding some lettuce leaves. And I might just arrange it like this, a couple leaves, you know, if I didn't have a salad prepared, and just kind of put them on like that, as simple as that. And there you go. Maybe slice up some tomatoes or carrots or onions, anything, and you've got a meal ready to go. Thanks everyone for joining me. Let me know in the comments if you decide to try this and if you change anything. Take care everyone. Bye-bye.